Hi, welcome to Source It Up. My name is Frank. Today I want to interview Prince Patel. Last year alone, he did $800K in sales, selling GoPros and GoPro accessories. I'm excited. I hope you guys are. Here it is. So I'm here with Prince Patel. He actually lives in New Jersey. I'm in New York, so he stopped by for the day. We're just hanging out at our warehouse, my warehouse here. I wanted to show him around, and but we sat down. I wanted to ask him a couple questions. So let's jump into it. So Prince,
Yes.
I am very intrigued with your story. I know you started social like a year ago, but when you first started, it was all about like GoPros and stuff.
Right.
But I know, like now, listening to more, I know you started much earlier than that. You know, so share a little bit.
Yeah, so, okay, I'll tell you my story from the beginning, basically. So I'm 23 years old, right? So a lot of people think I'm inexperienced in e-commerce, but I mean, you know, in perspective, kind of, right? But I started when I was 16 years old. I mean, I was going to Craigslist and flipping things on eBay and Amazon back and forth and stuff like that. So I've been doing it part-time leisurely since then. I've only gone full-time for the past 2 years now. So I've been in this game for a long, long time. And before that, I was doing like one-off items with random things like couches and lawnmowers or whatever, and different types of electronics. I tell the story to everyone like every once in a while. I drove all the way to Philly to do one $20 flip. The gas was probably double that, but so I did that anyways. But it's one of those amateur moves. But I did that and kind of learned from that and grew it to what it is now.
That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
Wow, man. So why GoPros? What, you know? I know you're going to school. You're busy. This and that. You know.
Yeah.
How did that all start?
So I've always had this kind of desire. You know, I think everybody has this innate desire for something inconceivable. They want like a Lamborghini. They want big houses, all this stuff. So that's how I kind of started. Things have changed now. But so with the GoPros and everything, I've been doing a lot of product data research. I've been doing that for a long time. That's a lot of back-end stuff that most people don't see on social media. Obviously, people don't want to really hear that on social media. You want to talk about all the popular topics on social media. So there's a lot of back-end work that goes into it. I'm sure like stuff that you're going to be talking about in this interview, like there's so much back-end work. You have employees here. You have this whole warehouse. You have stuff everywhere here. But you know, people are not going to know that work. They're going to see what you say at face value, and that's what they're going to take it as. So yeah, I've been doing it for a long time. A lot of research.
How much time did you research before you decided like GoPros, you know, and what were the things that like, because I know high sell-through rate, high ASP, but it was capital intensive. Like, how did that whole process work for you?
So basically what happened was, like I told you, I've been doing a lot of product research. So I tried different little products. So I have an Excel sheet. I logged like over 600 in-person sales, just going to person and selling it. I logged it. And I kind of figured out some things were better than others. Some things were more profitable. Some things were more hype. Some things were, you know, sell more than often. Like GoPro specifically, they're more of a luxury item. But I feel like most people in their lifetime want a GoPro just because it's one of those mini camera, high definition, waterproof things. So I figured, okay, this will be a good product to sell because most people want it. Phones are a good one too. They're a necessity, but it's also it's a harder market to get into.
Right. So
that's kind of want to figure it out with the GoPros.
That's cool. So you saw, a demand for it locally, and that kind of drew your interest. So I know you have the whole replenishables course or the you know the PDF and stuff, and I bought that, and you know a lot of it is like, okay, I know this, but the fact that how you put it all together was really the key.
Yeah.
How long did it take you to figure all that out for yourself? And then once you implemented that, how long did it take for that product to like kind of get to that high ranking?
So, you know, a lot of people don't know, like maybe I work on this course for 3 months, right? But it's a lifetime of work that comes into experience that comes into it. So I've kind of figured out things one by one, just through experimenting, doing a lot of mentoring calls and sessions and being in a lot of mastermind calls, things like that. When you bounce around, collaborate with a lot of people, especially now since we're actually working with eBay, we're planning on doing like some projects with them, and we verified a lot of our information through them. So it's kind of interesting. When we have this dynamic with Chris, 10K on the Bay, where he does a lot of listings. He does like 10,000 listings, while I have like a couple hundred listings. Mine's replenishable, his is one-off. So we have like an interesting dynamic going on. So it kind of covers a wide range of stuff.
Yeah, for sure. So so you got the whole replenishable thing. Now, how did you jump right out the gate selling GoPros and accessories, or did you over time build up sources for that, you know, out China and things like that? How did that all come to play? And then as far as your revenue and your profit, is it? I'm obviously the GoPros are flying off the shelf, but how much are your profits coming from these accessories?
So when I initially started, and I give everyone the same advice. When you initially start, you have to not aim for the highest profits and the highest margins because you're not going to build a supplier list that way.
Right.
So how I started was, I started with obviously a couple GoPros at a time. Then I was like, okay, let me try to go niche specific. So I deleted all my other listings of like couches or whatever, random stuff like that, and I made it all GoPro stuff. And then I started involving all the accessories. So I started contacting people in China and people around the country. I started calling a lot of pawn shops, remanufacturing, refurbishing companies and things like that. And I got a lot of contacts that way. And you know, over time you connect with people through word of mouth and just networking like that way. So I've kind of built a list of suppliers now, where it's kind of a reliable way for me to source stuff.
That's cool. So you literally just researched online pawn shops, refurbished places that actually called their their sales department or the customer service, and you just got in. And what was your, I know cold calling is not fun sometimes.
Not fun at all.
But how long did it take you to get over that like rejection phase? And then, 1 out of 20 calls is going to be good. So when you get 19 failures, just keep pushing on. Like, how did that whole process work for you? So
the biggest struggle is that, it's rejection, and people hate rejection, whether it's relationships, business, whatever it is, people hate rejection. So, I've been a hustler since I was 16 years old. I've been doing this for a long time. So I kind of understood what it takes to get these suppliers or these contacts, these accounts, things like that. So for me, since, I don't think anyone could do this. I think some people have, they're in a position where they can't do it. It's harder for them because they have other obligations and responsibilities. Right. You have kids, wife, things like that. I don't have any of that.
Kid.
And so I didn't have any of that. All I had to do was go to school. I took care of health and fitness for myself, and then I just did this full time. And that's all I did. I had fun too, but I did a lot of time management stuff as well. So
that's cool. Speaking of time management, I know you're doing more social now. How is that tying in? Is it like a lifestyle thing? I know right before this you did like a little Instagram thing, and you had to be like, oh wait, I want to, I want to snap this real quick. Not snap, no Snapchat. But how is that now for you? And then what do you want it to become?
So I suck at social. I am terrible in front of a camera, but I've been trying to get better and better over time. I think it just comes with experience. I'm 23 years old, so I don't have all the life experience to kind of know what's going to come. But I do follow a lot of people. I have a lot of mentors. I look up to a lot of people who have been in this industry and done things in this path. So I kind of, I leverage that information and I kind of roll with it. So I've been making videos kind of leisurely here and there. I kind of do it when I feel good or when I feel like posting something. But now I'm starting to realize that I want to document what I'm doing because stuff like this is interesting. Being here with you at this interviewing in front of your warehouse and everything, that's kind of interesting to me. And I think people would find that interesting as well. So you don't need to be perfect at talking and stuff like that. Like, I've done a little bit of public speaking, but even then, like, I'm not that good at talking. So
how was the Toastmasters thing?
It was great.
Yeah?
Yeah, I made my title, Toastmaster Changed My Life. It's a little bit clickbaity.
I saw the video.
But no, it really did help me a lot. It helped me a lot. I was talking in front of like 50 college students every week. So it was interesting.
That's cool. Yeah, I think if you purposely make a clickbait video and people know you and they know you're doing that on purpose, I think that actually works. It's like counterintuitive, you know? So that's pretty cool.
I just filmed a video in the car while I was coming here. The title is going to be, should I buy a Lamborghini? I'm not going to be buying a Lamborghini, but that was the title, so I could get people in there. But
that's so funny. You're saying you follow a lot of people and your mentors and stuff. So who's in your circle, that you want to share, that as far as business? Okay, so I do eBay, but I also do like affiliate marketing. I do other different various business ventures. So I follow a lot of YouTube right now because I want to go into the YouTube space. I want to go into the social media space. So I follow people like Gary Vaynerchuk. I follow people like Chris Henke on the Bay, which is my eBay source of information. I follow people that like video creators, who's a big channel for creating videos on YouTube. People like that, or people like even mainstream people like Jake Paul, Logan Paul, like people see that as entertainment, stupid entertainment, like childish entertainment, but I see it as like a business opportunity. I want to leverage that information and use it in my own way because they're doing it, they're doing something right for being some of the top content creators on YouTube. So you could kind of make that and use that information and leverage it as in a business way. So that's cool, man. You mentioned affiliate marketing.
Yes.
And I know I'm very, very curious because I know you did the video of like, here's my, income.
Right.
You broke it down. You said what you wanted to do and this and that.
Right.
but you didn't really elaborate at all about affiliate marketing.
Yeah.
I'm just like so curious, you know, a little bit more of that, whatever you can share.
It's definitely an interesting topic. So, you know, a lot of people are curious to see what you can just do from your computer at home just by linking stuff. But so essentially, I'll tell you how I started with affiliate marketing. What I did was I used to be a big forum geek, like a BMW. I used to have a BMW back in the day, so I used to be on the forums. I'd make like DIYs and how-tos and how to fix the cars and parts. So one day I was like, I saw eBay Partner Network and Amazon affiliates. So I was like, what if I go back to my old forum account and I go to all my DIYs that I made. So there's parts on there. There's $100 parts, $300, $400, $500 parts on there. So I replaced all those links that I had to those parts. They were non-affiliate links. I made all my affiliate links to that. And then I realized, because those posts still get views on a day-to-day basis, because people go back to them and they want to see how to fix a part. It's going to get views for a long time. So I put all my affiliate links on those parts, and I did that with all my posts, and I put them on my, my signature, my bios, and everything like that on my forums. And I started to figure out, like, okay, I can start making a steady income from this. So I started doing that on a bunch of different forums. I started making some articles and blogs, and collectively, some of them, do great, some of them don't, and that's how I kind of made affiliate income from that.
So now it's like kind of almost passive. I mean, you make it, and then it's like a course where it just continues to generate, and it slows over time. You got to update it and stuff, I'm sure.
Yeah, if you don't work on it at all, it's obviously going to slow down over time. So nothing is really truly passive in life.
No.
You got to work on it, a little bit. So yeah, I do go back and forth with other influencers and people that kind of do affiliate marketing for me. So yeah, just a concept.
That's cool, man. That's cool. So 2018.
Yes.
What are your plans?
Social media documentation, and I want to really show people how I'm doing it, because if and when I do become a millionaire, I think that's a really interesting thing for people to see. If you saw Michael Jordan, the way he grew up and the way he practiced and everything, if there was a documentary about that, or they showed him doing that, that would be insane. People would love that.
Oh, yeah.
So I think kind of documenting that, just in case something like that does happen for me or the people around me, that's really, really, really interesting.
That's cool. That's cool.
Beyond financials, to me, it's like fulfillment, it's like legacy, things like that, and that's what this is going to bring for me. So
yeah, let's talk about that. Like, what's your, everybody's like, what's your why? What's your why?
Yeah.
What's your why?
Yeah, so like I mentioned earlier, like the why was money. It was Lamborghinis, houses. And now as I'm making more money now, I'm like, but it's not about the money anymore. It's like, it's less about the money as time goes on. I think, a lot of people I know, some of them are millionaires, some of them know millionaires, and they always say the same thing. When I bought a Lamborghini, it doesn't matter anymore. Like, nothing really matters at the end of the day. So why am I chasing to buy a Lamborghini or a big house when that doesn't matter? I think for me personally, it comes down to fulfillment. It's making an impact, whether in my community or in the world, hopefully. Things like that is what I really want to do. And that goal is so high that it's going to be never ending. So you're always going to be reaching for something. You're always going to be sad. Like, You're always going to keep working towards something better and bigger. So a Lamborghini, like, yeah, you could get a Lamborghini, but then what? You could get $1 million. You get $1 million, and then what? Like, what are you going to do?
Yeah. If you can go back and tell your younger self something, like when you first started GoPros, something that you could have just catapulted you right to where you are now, what would it be?
Honestly, I don't have that many, like, I don't know if that's a regret question, but like, I think that what I did was fine. I was also living my life as well as doing the side stuff on the same time.
So you're okay? You were okay with the pace it was going? And
yeah, I'm totally okay with it. I know there's obviously millionaires that are already 17, 16, 15, whatever, but the pace that I went at was fine for me because I learned a lot through it. I think no one could go through a shortcut. If you go from 0 to $1 million, you're going to lose that $1 million a lot quicker than if you had worked hard for it. Yeah. So it's just one of those things where I'm okay with it, and I'm,
No, that's good. That's actually a really good answer. I know for myself there's a lot of things I would have told myself, but everybody's different. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, you can't skip it. You know what I'm saying? You can't. Because you wouldn't have the experience. If you didn't have the experience, you just make that mistake again next year. You know what I'm saying? So that's pretty cool. Now I know you were at Chris's a couple weeks ago. How was that? It
was fun. California is pretty cool.
That's cool, man. Yeah.
Like, I like the vibe.
Right. Yeah.
Like, everyone's kind of working and kind of doing something big, bigger than maybe around here. Well, people are doing some big stuff in New York, but in New Jersey for
Nobody
me.
cares about it. Like, I don't know. Like,
you can't really tell.
I know Watch Me Amazon's in Brooklyn.
Yes.
Then, like, I think the largest Amazon seller is also in Brooklyn.
Okay.
I forgot what they're called. They're Pharma something.
Okay.
They're doing like 150 mil on Amazon.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Like, and I think they're all merchant fulfilled.
Oh wow.
Which is crazy.
That is crazy.
They got a big warehouse. Yeah. And they have that because I was looking for like an inventory system, and I stumbled across them.
Right.
And they were talking about their inventory system, and then I'm like, this is the biggest seller on Amazon.
Right.
Dang, the third party seller. But So that's cool. So I know you guys are working on some sort of eBay course. You know, the SOP. I know I'm in the Mastermind along with you and 98 other people.
Yeah.
But which is really awesome. Before we get to the course you guys are making, what is your experience with the Mastermind over the year? You know, because I'm curious to know, because I know my experience.
Yeah.
It's been amazing, but I want to hear about yours.
So I started this Mastermind call stuff with Chris early 2017. We decided to start it just because we thought it would be beneficial for us and anybody who's watching it. Just because when you're doing a business, especially something like eBay where you're kind of alone, most people do it from home, so they don't have people around them surrounding themselves. Like, you hear that statement that you are who you surround yourself with. If you're not surrounding yourself with anyone, or you're just surrounding yourself with your friends or your people who drink all the time and your wife who doesn't really know anything that's going on, then you're kind of not going to be growing at a pace that you want to be growing at. So we kind of figured that out a little bit early, and we decided to make this big networking connection group so that everyone kind of prosper from it.
That's cool. Yeah. I mean,
there's a lot of things. So eBay seems simple because you could just list something. Anyone could list something, right? But there's a lot of details that a lot of people don't know. Like when I showed you my book, you were like, oh, I know most of these things here and there, but most people actually don't. Most people that messaged me, they were like, wow, what is all this stuff?
Oh, really?
Well, yeah, I didn't know about it. Because it does take experience. More than you're smarter than you think you are. You're a lot smarter than you think you are. And I hear people say that all the time because you're so tunnel vision in what you're doing, the outside world has no clue what you're doing. So you kind of have to think about it that way.
That's what make a YouTube channel.
Yes, exactly.
But I know you feel the same way. You want to make an impact. You want to help other people. There's so many people who are, there's certain mistakes you got to make, right? We were talking about, you got to experience it for yourself.
Right.
Then there's some, because I know there have been times I've been banging my head against the wall trying to fix something and I literally have to walk away. There are those times.
Right.
But those are also the times of the greatest growth that you have in overcoming that.
Right.
And I would never want to take that from somebody, but I would want to come and give a helping hand when that person wants to give up. You know what I'm saying? So, and there are a lot of things that I'm sure we both experienced and both have gone through that we can share that are going to help, in crazy ways,
Right.
So,
and I think the biggest thing for me to learn was failures are going to be inevitable. No matter what, they're going to come. Whatever stage of life you're in, they're going to be failures. There's always going to be someone on top of you that you're going to compare yourself with or whatever, and there's always going to be failures. So what I've learned is it's not about the failures, it's about how fast you bounce back, how much you learn from it and grow from it is what actually matters. So a lot of people are going to fail, they get frustrated, but if you grow from it and learn from it, that's the actual success.
I like that. And that, and being part of the Mastermind and surrounding yourself with those who are encouraging you, I think that's key to picking yourself back up.
100%.
So that's 100%. Really cool. So you were Chris's A to Z eBay course.
Yes.
Tell me what you can. I know it's not launched yet. It's coming out, but
right. So we're in the works right now. We're almost done with it. We're gonna do a soft launch and then do a hard launch with it. We've been working with we collected all the information from hundreds of sellers. So we have a good amount of information of how eBay works and how we can do it. We're also practitioners. We're always going to be practitioners. So we wanted to make this course with literally everything, A through Z, how to start the store to how to make it optimal for your your particular case. Some people want to do one-off items. Some people want to do replenishable products. There's different strategies you can take on eBay. Some people do free shipping. Some people charge shipping, things like that. And some things help more than others. So we want to make a whole course talking about that so people understand it and realize what the opportunities are.
That's cool. Who do you think the ideal person would be to get that kind of course? Would it be a beginner, intermediate, someone like myself? I know, with Chris, every week he's coming with something new. Fill out this form, do this, do that. And I know he's gathering data, but also he just he's trying to figure out a way to optimize every little piece.
Yes.
So, and I love it. Is some of that kind of stuff going to be in there?
Yes, it's literally going to be everything from beginners, intermediates, and advanced people. So when you see the curriculum, you're going to be like, whoa, there's a lot of sections and there's a lot of pods in there, and there's a lot of ebooks and articles, and there's a lot of information that you could use. So I know a lot of this information you could find on the internet. You could find anything on the internet.
Right.
You want to be a doctor, you could find all the information on how to do heart surgery online, but until you experience it or you get, you don't really understand it. Or collecting all the information and putting it in one space that's the hardest part.
What order to do it in.
That's the hardest part. It's not about just finding the information. You don't know. It's the same thing when you go to school, right? And you're in class and the professor asks the question. They're asking a question are you confused or you're lost? Or what don't you know? And you're like, I don't know what I don't know. That's the situation that most people are in.
So I'm excited for it, but any last thoughts? No,
I'm just excited to check out your warehouse and how this place runs.
We're gonna walk through in a few minutes. And,
Sounds good.
All right, bud.
Thank you for having me here.
Yeah, no, it's great, man.